Okay, guys, we're back with a little video. We got a BDGA in the house. This is out of an '05 Acura TL. It's gonna be '04 and '05 only. This one might have the big drum in it because it's '05, but I've always say '05 is by themselves because if you order parts for '04, when you go get to the drum on the side for Thug Gill, they might send you the wrong steels half the time. Transmission's already out the car. I still gotta pull the other transmission out. The customer actually put a Honda Accord transmission in it, which actually surprised me. It's actually a plug and play game, I call it. Car goes through all the gears, but it's leaking out the front seal right here. Haven't really seen too many of them do that, but more than likely if you've seen in my previous videos, well, the Acura TLs are real bad about eating the front bushing up in the case. If it does that, your case is no good. Hopefully this ain't gonna be the case for this transmission. I'm really getting tired of setbacks. This is basically this transmission right here is the first Honda transmission I've done in almost a year, because the demand is dropping off big time now. I mean, people just don't want to spend the money. So, but you know how it is. He searched some of the sensors over, went worried about that. Like I said before, Acura TL, Honda Accord, if you got a torque converter code in it, it's probably going to be this solenoid right here. Change the solenoid, they got a little screen in it, which I got right here. Here's what it looks like. Blow that screen out, put it back together. If that don't fix your code, torque converter's bad, you might as well just rebuild the transmission. When you pull this solenoid off, do try not to tear this gasket, because 95% of the time the rebuild kit don't come with it for some reason. I got a stack of them. Anyways, but yeah, we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get to it, guys. One more thing. If you go buy a vehicle from a dealership or something, or you go get a car from anybody, you can always check and make sure if this is the original motor or transmission that's been in the car. Always look at the VIN number. They started putting these VIN numbers on these Hondas, I think in 96, 97. Always match up your, I'm gonna block half the VIN number out. Match up your last 4 digits of the VIN on the car to make sure it matches VIN in the car. Sad to say, in this situation, this VIN number don't match the VIN in the car. So, this transmission came out of '05, but it didn't come out the '05 we got. So, one time before, this Acura has had 2 transmissions put in the past. But I'm going to get y'all set up. I'm going to put you over my head, and I'll probably have you on my sides again. 2 different angles. Something new I'm trying for the angles. So, get ready, guys. We're about to tear this thing apart. Alrighty. We're gonna get to this. First of all, we're gonna take off. We're gonna take the dipstick out. We're just gonna throw it up here in this little pan for now. Now we'll just put it right here. We're gonna go ahead and take off the pressure control solenoid. Got 6 bolts holding it in. I always like taking this pressure control solenoid off first, just to see. There's supposed to be more stuff on this transmission, but they took stuff off of this one to put in the other transmission, but that's alright. Y'all can look back at my older videos showing the other Acura TL transmission teardown. The fluid in it's real clean. I'm guessing that somebody did a fluid flush on it. I mean, sometimes that works, sometimes it don't. I mean, if it's clean like this all the way through, it's a good candidate that we build. One concern I have is these bolt holes right here for the mount goes. I don't like how those look. Let's see here. Wow, clean. Let's see here. You can always take some wire cutters to go through them. Don't let it have some trash in it a little bit. What I do is just stick them back down where you got them from, so you don't lose them. Like I said, this is the first Honda transmission I've done in almost a year. I actually did a clean out. I did a clean out of a lot of my extra Honda parts because they're just taking up space in my shop. People's laptops. They're just taking up space in my shop. And I just said, screw it. I threw a lot of my extra cases away. I mean, at one point I was saying I wasn't going to build Hondas no more because the demands were just so low. I mean, take a little hammer and beat this thing up. This dipstick is always a pain in the butt sometimes. Take a little hammer and get under it. Oh, I didn't mention, this is actually one of my subscribers' transmissions out of his car. I got his car here. So this is actually my first transmission teardown of one of my own subscribers to my channel. I want to shout out to him. Thank you very much for bringing your vehicle here and give me the opportunity to rebuild the transmission. You're going to see firsthand what I go through to rebuild them and tear them down. If the gasket stays stuck to it, that's good. That's real clean too. Let's see if it's stuck. See if this lockup valve's stuck or not. Let's see here. See, ain't stuck. That's good. Alright. So far, I like how she's looking so far, but looks can be deceiving. Excuse me, guys. Looks can be deceiving. Take off your shift solenoids right here. Get a little flathead on them and pop them out sometimes. Come on. See, this one ain't never been out, I can tell. Usually it's 2 screens in there. Let's see here. Freaking nose keeps running, guys. Oh, like a waterfall. See, that one's the same way. Got a little trash in it. Take the screws and just screw it back in the case. These are one of a kind. These are one of a kind tins. If you take one of these tins out to go right here and put right here, you'll bust the case. It goes all the way through. You'll actually hit the torque converter if they're too long. You crank it up and like, what's that noise? Well, that's the screws hitting the torque converter. So now, this part I like right here. We're gonna take this filter out right here. I bet this ain't never been changed, but it might have been changed. Give a little spin. Yeah. Yeah, somebody's been in it before. You see how it's all beat up. I'll actually probably be replacing this skin cover right here because it's been beat up so many times. Like I said, I don't have too many extra parts no more for Hondas because I actually have switched over to Chevrolet and Ford because, I mean, nobody wants to bring me no more Hondas. I mean, even the actual transmission shops are literally just charging people. Well, they left the filter out of it. Okay, no filter in there, so that ain't good. Always have a filter in there, guys, because this filter right here will be the one catching the most trash before it gets to the one in the transmission. If you change this filter every 20,000 miles, you can make this transmission last 300,000 miles, guys. Because as soon as that internal filter starts clogging, you're gonna bum third gear up in this thing, and you're screwed. So, I just put it back together like that, like it is for now. Ain't nothing to look at in there. I just put the screws over there out the way for now. Let's see here, 12. Alright, well, we'll take the bigger gun out. Let's see. Yeah. And that's what they do every time. Get all this corrosion crap put on them. I see a lot of people leave this bracket right here off because it actually gets in the way when you put it back in half the time. I mean, your vehicle, do what you want to do. Take off your top cooler. In the rebuild video that we will be posting, and let this truck go by. In the rebuild video, when we'll be posting it, I'm going to show y'all how I check this top cooler piece for leakage. So, what I like doing is, see, water, antifreeze runs through here, runs in and out. And this is what cools the transmission. So if you have an external cooler on it, yeah, you got two, whatever. But what I do is, I put the whole thing underwater, and I block off one end, and I blow air through this side right here. If I see any bubbles right here, that means antifreeze is mixing with your darn transmission fluid. That's the #1 killer to kill the transmission. Water. Antifreeze. Now we'll go back and take this little thing off. This thing here's a pain in the ass to get off sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. Hopefully the bolts don't break off. See that one right there? Just gonna get my little gun. Got one little bolt right there. Wow. It surprised me how the bolts came out, because usually they don't come out that easily if it's been on there forever. But let's see here. Take a little screwdriver, a little flathead again, and lift it up. Oh wow. Very surprisingly. Very surprised. Alright. Here's your other cooler. And there's only one thing, see? So basically, fluid comes up here, gets for your pump. So fluid comes up, it goes through here, comes out, it posts it right back onto the back. If you have a cooler on it, which the car does, I've noticed, it comes up, comes out of here. Once it comes out of here, it posts, it needs to go through the other cooler, out the other cooler to the back. So, I'll verify that's hooked up right once we get that transmission out. Parts should be here Thursday. Today is, what's the day? Oh my God, today's Friday, guys. We got a little dowel pin here. This dowel pin, very surprised it came out. Very surprised. It never comes out. That one never comes out either. So far, guys, this transmission is looking more, look at that. It's looking more and more good candidate that we build. This speed sensor right here, hopefully my camera's still an angle. This speed sensor right here is usually the one that breaks. You got to take this one out on these 5-speed automatics to get the case pulled apart. Hopefully this sensor comes out, because this is a $75 sensor that I get tired of buying. I really get tired of buying this $75 sensor, guys. And thank God it came out. Thank you. $75 sensor. Remember that. You break it, it's $75. The older ones, if you got 2003, won't have this big metal piece on the end. If you put that other one in there, it won't read it right. It's actually longer. The ends will actually hit the gear down there and spin it up in the transmission and tear the transmission up. You probably seen that in one of my videos too. If you go back and look at my other videos from about a year or two ago. Alright. Wiping my nose again. My nose keeps running. Alright, so this is actually pretty much all the sensors off this thing, because they pretty much stripped this thing for me already. So we're gonna move my guns over here. We're gonna go ahead and flip her over on the side. Take that tape off, chunk it to the side. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I said, they did most of the work for me. I screwed this bolt in here to help us pick it up. So we're gonna go ahead and get the end cover off this thing, guys. Since there ain't no sensor, your coolant, your transmission sensor goes here for the temperature. Safety neutral switch goes here. See, this thing's been rebuilt before. Alright. Remember, when you take this cover off, all your bolts you just took out this cover goes in this cover. Just flip it over. Very simple, guys. Very simple. I mean, these 5-speed automatics are more complex than your little 4-speed that we do a lot. But at the end of the day, it's a Honda transmission. Take a hammer and tap it up. Alright. You see what the hell that was dropping out the back. Hopefully that wasn't a bearing falling out. Alright, here's the end cover. Make sure all this looks good. This little seal right here will be replaced. All of this right here will be replaced inside. New seals. I don't know why I keep sneezing. I just got a bad head cold going on today. Yeah, everything you take off the top right here goes in this end cover, guys. Plain and simple. Excuse me. Alright. So, trying to see what that noise was I dropped over there. But we'll eventually find out in no time. Alright, so far guys, this transmission has not been overheated. But I'm hoping, praying, you hear that right there? The girl is burned up and we know she is. So hopefully this is just going to be normal wear and tear. So we're just going to keep going at it. So far it looks like it's all original. It ain't been into before. So far so good so far. Let's see here. So we're gonna go ahead and hit this thug girl right here, guys. So we're gonna see what we got. So this one, this nut here and here, it's gonna be backwoods thread. So it's gonna be tightening it up. Righty loosey, lefty tighty. Another one over here is regular thread. Alright. Put those in there. Let me grab my magnet. Grab that one. Sometimes I can grab that one. I got my big one out here today. Alright. Now watch this crap. We're gonna have some fun now. Watch this crap. Alright. So very careful. You can put a breaker bar right here, a flathead here, and just very carefully. You want to pop it too hard. Well, come on. I bet you she's stuck together. Oh, here she goes. Come on. Like I said, not two of them come apart the same. Right there. Finally. Alright. Let's see what we got going on in third gear today. Alright. So far, looks good right there. Okay. Yep, look at that. So this is going to be a normal wear and tear, more likely, guys. Third gear surprisingly ain't burnt up. But, if you can see the shit flaking off, the seals look awesome. Awesome. But right here, this is what's clogging your filter. All that stuff flaking off. So this is gonna be a transmission that, there we go. This will be there you go, all that stuff flaking off. I bet all that stuff's in the filter. This is gonna be a transmission, guys, that we're probably gonna have to play with a little bit once you get in the car. I'm going to adjust the pressure control solenoid on it a little bit. But so far, so good, ain't really bad. No more wear and tear. So we have not found a catastrophic failure yet. Thank God. Alright. So good, we'll just do it to the side for now. We'll go ahead and take the gear off. Check these bearings. A lot of times these bearings, when you go down the road, you hear it making like a whining noise when you're getting out the gas. Normally it's this one's the culprit, or these ones. I replace them 99% of the time, but even though you replace them, they still whine. I mean, aftermarket bearings, they whine. Let's see here. We'll get the polo out, and we're gonna have some fun. It's a handmade polo I made. Let's see here. Man, guys, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun in a couple weeks. I got parts coming in for my F20B swap for my Accord. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Like I said, when you take it apart, just lay them in line over there. I mean, this stuff's self-explanatory sometimes. You ever get one? Sometimes you get one and they don't drill these holes out like they supposed to. You can always get two flatheads under it, and it will be pulled up that way. I don't like doing it that way because you'll probably break the teeth off. And when you get to a situation you don't got extra parts, you gotta go find a $400 core. Sad to say now. Alright, so the last one right here is your parking assembly. This one's usually the one that's a pain in the butt. Hopefully in this case it comes off like it's supposed to. The transmission looks like it ain't been overheated at all. The fluid's been clean in it, real clean. Really surprisingly. So, I mean, the more I look at it, that's no more wear and tear. I need to get back to the customer and ask him what this one was actually doing, because so far it ain't much wrong with her. Alright, we're done with the polo, guys. Let me throw it back in the drawer. Take your pocket assembly off, put your bearing back on there like that. Do that. You can take this and stick it right back on top of it like that. That's what I do. I just take the gun and just sit right in front of it, right beside it. Alright, we dumped that. We're about done with the big gun. We'll do the big gun for now, guys. Okay, guys and girls. I'm gonna take a 12 and take this reverse idler gear retainer off. I don't know why I use this little gun. It's getting weak. Now, you see in my last video I made of the little 4-cylinder, this thing was stuck. They never get stuck on these ones. So take it off, flip it over. Take your pin out. Flip it over like that. This little 5-cent washer, don't want to lose it. Don't want to lose that washer. Take your finger, get the bearing. Take the other bearing. Take your 2 bolts like this. These are one-of-a-kind bolts. Stick it back in your end cover you just took off. This is the one you cannot get backwards, but I always mark it just for the hell of it. You cannot get this gear upside down. The transmission will not go back together or it's upside down. These bearings right here, gotta check them real good when we get the case off of it. These bearings are actually getting hard to find, and you can actually see this one right here is trying to walk out the case. That bearing right there is trying to walk out the case. So when we rebuild this transmission, this bearing, what I like doing is to stop it from walking out the case. I take a bead of JV weld and just around it and put the bearing back in it to seal it in, because you don't want this bearing to walk out. As soon as this bearing walks too far, your shaft drops and it cuts all the sealing rings, and it's catastrophic failure. So I'm not gonna lie, I had one of them come back about 3 years ago. Get this darn notch off of this thing right here. Come on. It's my lucky blue screwdriver. That's why I use it all the time. But yes, I actually had a comeback about 2 years ago, guys. And it kind of makes you mad when you put when you put $800 for parts and something. Sometimes $1,000 for parts. Just depends what all's going on. And you get one that comes back, and for some reason it won't move. We're like, okay. So we had a situation in the past where the sprags would be bad and crap. I'm like, okay, well, the sprag probably had a bag sprag. We took it out, and long and behold, when we took the end cover off, this bearing right here was in 1,000 pieces. I'm like, oh no. And once that happened, it was catastrophic failure, guys. I mean, there's nothing stopping the sealing rings you cutting. Everything you put in the transmission was destroyed at that point. So, alright, so that's gun. Little gun, we need to put her away now. Then we're going to take out the big gun again. We're going to start hitting these 14 millimeters or 9/16. Just the part I don't like, because half the time these bolts don't like coming out easily. They all gonna be a pain in the butt. Alright. So give me 1 second, guys. Let me get my breaker ball out again. Show y'all a little trick that I've been doing for a couple times. What I like doing is, you just put it in your waist right here, hold the transmission, and do that there. See? Put it in your waist, hold it, pow. Until it slips like it just did on that one. I was on all the way. See? See, if you try to do it the other way, you try to just like do it like this, try to break it. The transmission wants to slide on you on the table. You just put the dumb breaker bar in your waist. You just hold the transmission. Pow. We're just gonna spin all the way around and just keep going around, guys. I mean, gotta do what you gotta do. See, that one was real tight, guys. See? These bolts right here only torque down to like 30-something foot-pounds. You ever get one that breaks off in the case? You might as well throw the case away and go find your core. Because the last thing you want, and say, oh, it ain't gonna leak. You put all the $600 of parts in it, put it in the car, put the fluid in it, it starts dripping, and you can't stop it. So, just the things we go through on these transmissions. I mean, they're fun still, but the more I do them, it's just gonna come a day, guys, that I ain't gonna build no more of them. I mean, sad to say that, but it's gonna come a day we just ain't gonna build no more Honda transmissions because a lot of shops ain't doing them no more. I mean, parts are getting outrageous now. Alright, guys. I thought I hit that one enough. All these bolts you're taking out can go in your end cover case right here. Though you won't misplace them. Now, let's see if the case decides to break free like it's supposed to. Alright. Check one thing for a second. Alright. But you move that gear to the side. Huh? She might be a good girl today. Wow. She's gonna be a good girl, I think, guys. She's gonna be a good girl. She ain't gonna be a bad girl today. You don't get too many like that. If you hung on something, you can stop what you're doing and just look and see what the heck it's doing. More likely you're stuck on this darn grill, dowel pin, or something simple like that. Alright, there went that other grill. You get all this stuff out of the way, I'll show you what happened, guys. Push this over to the side like this. Alright, so this piece right here goes right there like that. It don't go right there, see? They ain't the right size. Goes right there like that. Here's your idler grill. Up in here, this thing stays in there. This is the one that goes in the bottom. Put it back together, put some Vaseline on it, stay in there. Now, you see what happened. That's what I was hung on, see? Got a bow in. Alright, so far, all this looking good. If this falls out when you take it apart, don't be afraid. This is just the shims that go down in here like this. Okay, guys? Goes down in there like that. And tap them back in. And you're afraid it's going to fall out, putting it back together, put some grease around it, some Vaseline to come out of it. Look at this. This is the first gasket that I've ever had do this. These gaskets are a pain in the butt to scrape off. So somebody's took care of this transmission, big time. Somebody's took care of it. I ain't gonna lie, somebody's took care of this transmission. The maintenance on it. This is what happens, you do maintenance. But yeah, we're gonna set the case right there. I'll put a rag down there, we're gonna throw all the bolts we just took out right back in it. So right off the bat, the problem's gonna be the filter's gonna be clogged. I can see it is gunked up big time. We're gonna get to it in a minute. But we're gonna have some fun now, guys. Let's make sure I'm still in frame. Let me step up here, make sure I'm still in frame for y'all. Yeah, we're good. Okay, guys. See, this comes right off like it's supposed to. Oh, I have to we'll hold on for a second. Down, push the spring fairly. Up, push the lock in. Alright, that's how you back up, guys. Take that one off. That looks damn good. Looks good. And I'll look at these bearings more off camera. I mean, I'm just trying to show y'all taking it apart. This is actually a teardown video for the customer. He can go back and see what we did to it. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm using the wrong screwdriver for this. Supposed to be a little tight, but what in the world? Somebody really. Sometimes in the factory, these things are really in there. The rebuild kit comes with new locking tabs for the all these things we're taking off of it, all the bolts. Now, once again, guys, you need to mark this synchronizer, which way it's facing up. This is the one that will screw you every time. If you put the synchronizer on backwards, upside down like that, which it sits in there like that, she will never back up and she will never go to 5th gear. So always remember which way goes up. See how she locks in, everything locks in perfectly. What I do is I just stick it back together. I mean, I know how it goes back together, but I just you get to a routine, guys. How you take something apart, and sometimes you walk away for about a day or two, you come out here and say, damn, how'd that go back together? Well, now you know how it goes back together. When you line it up and put it together, you know how it goes together. Alright. Okay, so right here, see how dark it is right here? This is going to be the one that's going to be burnt up probably right here. Let's see what we got. This is going to be, so 3rd gear is on the end. First material was 3rd. So this is going to be 4th and 5th right here, guys. 4th and 5th. Let's see how 4th and 5th looks. Alright. Take all your bearings off. A lot of bearings, these babies. What I do is just stick it back under there for now. Yeah, see how dark she is? I bet your palm. She done. This can be the one that burnt 4th gear up. They do burn 4th up. This is gonna be low hold 1st and 2nd over here. I mean, you don't got to stack them exactly how I'm stacking them, guys. I mean, this is how I do it. This is the main shaft right here. Take your hand, pop it out like that. Check all this stuff here in a minute. What I do is I just take it and just stick it back in here like this. Hold it out the way. Alright, this is 4th and 5th right here. This is gonna be 4th. Back side's gonna be 5th. This gonna be a palm right here. I can already see it. Make sure. See, they changed it. In 05, they changed it. They used to be sitting it like this. This little flex plate. Now it sits like this. You can leave it out. It'll will shift harder. But here's your problem right here, guys. No 4th gear. 4th gear is gone. 4th is toast. Adios. No 4th. This is gonna be the problem right here, guys. So, and when you take one of these transmissions apart, when you open it up and you physically see what happened, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. Like you know what happened. You take one apart and you don't see no clutches burn up. It takes you hours and hours and hours to check other things. I mean, you still gotta check stuff no matter what. But in the long run, it helps your anxiety calm down. See, here's 5th right here. They never burn 5th gear up. We're gonna be replacing that plate. See how bad it pushed into it? No more wear and tear. No more wear and tear. Stuff's flaking off, clogging the filter. Alright. I hope I ain't talking too much, guys. I'm just telling y'all how, just basically telling y'all the basics of everything we've seen over the years. So, we take that drum, stick it over there like that. Stick that in it like that if you want to. Doesn't matter. You'll probably end up falling out eventually. I gotta do a little hole in my table, that's what I gotta do. Alright, here's the heavy one. Yeah! Low hold. And first and second. Now these things usually don't burn second gear up. I mean, I have seen them burn second gear up. But the only reason you see them doing that is when people are racing. And they're manually shifting. But let's see here. This is gonna be second gear right here. Let's see, check the clearances. You see that play in it? Look at that play. I don't like that play. See, what I like doing is I like getting that clearances right up against that sideway groove, not too tight. Because when it hits second, it's gonna go in second good and firm. If you wanna go play with somebody and you don't want your car struggling to get to second. Well, second gear is kind of a big speed up too. This right here is stuck in it. But look at here. Here's how you know the filter's clogged. This is how you know the filter's clogged, guys. Those other clutches was wet a little bit. These are dry. There's hardly no fluid on them. They're dry. So that means the filter's clogged and the fluid can't get to this drum. We will be replacing drum seals. You'll be seeing that in the rebuild video. The dog in the house barking. Let's see here. Alright, I might have to end up making a part 2. This is going to be a part 2 of this more likely because, well, I might, if I hold it fast enough, guys, because I think the phone above my head, it don't got that much storage as my other one over here on the side of me. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna see. Here. Get in there. Put this over. Alright, let me look up here and see. Usually this other one would beep at me. I think I heard a beep one time. No, we still good, guys. I'm working on getting more camera equipment, guys. The more subscribers I get, the more views I get. Comments, y'all can comment what y'all want to see. What you want me to make a video of. I mean, I will get more revenue. The more views I get, the more revenue I get. So the more revenue I get, YouTube pays me, I get more camera stuff. This is first. They never burn first gear up. That's why these clutches look awesome. I mean, these clutches are heavy duty. They don't burn up. Plain and simple. First never burns. Down at the bottom is low hold, and low hold is gone. And there you go. It blowed the drum seal out. Drum seal is MIA. And there you go. They're stuck together. Stuck together, guys. No good. Stuck together. Stuck together. Low hold is running together. That's why I didn't want to move. Take it and beat it a couple times like this, and they might come apart. But there you go. Low hold is the story that blowed the drum seal out. We're just actually gonna set this drum. I'm gonna set this drum over here too, to the side. Let you look at it. Yeah, the drum seal is blowed out of it. We're going to look at this drum real good. Hope and pray that the drum is salvageable. We're going to air check it later on. Let's see here. Yeah. But yes, low hold is gone. There's your main problem right there. She's stuck together. Nothing. I mean, the steels are destroyed. I gotta look through my stash. Let's see. Let me look at one thing, guys. Let's see here. Let me see here. Yeah, they're kind of rusty. I can clean them up. So we got 1, 2, 3 steels. 3 steels on this one, alright? So I can clean these up right here. These are actually brand new. These are ones that we didn't need in a little rebuild. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. 3 steels. So, I mean, I got a stack of them right here. The steels, when you order the steels, that's an extra $50 sometimes. So, I mean, that's why if the transmission don't need it, like the other ones, the steels are good. You can use the steels, so they're good. But they're tore up like that, you can't use them. I can take some Scotch-Brite, I can clean these up, make them look brand new again. And we'll go from there. Here's your sprag assembly. Supposed to spin counterclockwise and lock the other way. So far, she's looking good. We do replace these. 99% of the time we replace them. They are a pain in the butt to replace, but we do replace them. But yeah, there's your sprag assembly. You got ceiling rings right here. 1, 2, 3. You got 4 right here. That one's flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what happened was the filter clogged. As soon as the filter clogs, it immediately burns the clutches up in the first gear. Yeah, taking shaft out in the middle. Come over here and take your differential out like this. I'll set it back down in the case. Be honest with you, I set both of them down in the case. Get that one we can roll off the table 90% of the time. Alright guys. We got an hour on the video. So we're gonna go ahead and get this valve body apart and we'll call it a day. Alright, let me just put this gun away. This gun is just, I keep telling myself I ain't gonna use that gun no more. And for some odd reason, I'm still using that gun. So, I'm still using that gun, guys. This is the guide for your shift linkage. Yeah. See, when you pick the filter up like that, when you pick it up and no fluid came out, she's clogged. She's no piano. She's clogged. Okay, guys? Alright, we're going to get this ice pick out of our face before we push our eyes out. Take your finger. Hold it. Pull the spring off like that. Turn it all the way to the right and pull it out. Okay. Stick that back in there like that. This is your fourth and fifth accumulator up here. What I like doing is don't take the bolts out of it right away. Just rock it back and forth. I missed one again. So my eyesight's getting bad. Rock it back and forth like that. Without each part of the valve body that I like doing is keep the bolts of that section every time. Keep it with that section. Look under it, make sure your dowel pin didn't get stuck in it, which is right here. See, dowel pins. Make sure you don't lose these dowel pins. Like I said, each section of the valve body, keep it together with that section. The plate too. But these bolts will go in multiple places. So you put the wrong bolts in the wrong places, it might hit. So it's common sense. Let's see here. Where did my little cup go? I'm using, well, screw it. I'll use this one for now. Alright, so now you come over here, take off your stator assembly. We're going to look right here for wing grooves, which is looking damn good. The feed pipes, I leave them in there. Like I tell you before, I don't like hunting them down. I do take them out when we're cleaning the parts. But so far, the cleanliness of this transmission is really surprising me. I've never seen one burn up like that, like this, and it's so clean. I mean, see, do with a dowel pin, catch it, put it in the bucket. Sit out, put it in the bucket. What I do is I stick this one over here like that. Put this bolt there. Yep, look at that. The little screen it's supposed to be in, it's clogged all the way, guys. I mean, it's clogged. You can't even see through that screen. Oh, I always check for wing grooves so it should look good right there. Here's your stator assembly. Looking good. We'll double check that again. Off camera. See here, take your darn plate, put it with it. Torque converter check valve, see if it's stuck. It's stuck. Torque converter check valve, it's stuck. So there you go right there. The reason the transmission burned up, guys, is that check valve, the torque converter was overheating. The reason the torque converter overheated because this valve is stuck. It is stuck. It will not move. This is why we put torque converters in every V6 Honda. Because this torque converter check valve, see, I just moved it. When it's stuck like that, when it's stuck, it automatically guarantees torque converters burn up, gone, done, destroyed. Transgo makes, Transgo, Transtech, Sonex, they make a non-stickable valve that goes in there. But the company I deal with, they want all my leg for right now, so we're gonna clean it, put it back together with a different valve to make it work the same way. Right here's your lube socket. You got a little check ball right here with a spring. Don't forget about it. Take that pin out. We get there. You see how that thing? Look at that. That's how much blow by you got in the shifter. Well, one way you have a delay in it, but there you go. Little check, little. Well, I'll catch you in a minute. Okay. Stick it right there. Valve pin. Once again, that filter's clogged. Take your little shift holder linkage thing off. Pull this valve out right here all the way. Looking good. So far, this is a very clean transmission to be burned up. I mean, like I said, no more wear and tear. You can tell it's original because it's the original green gasket. Looks like it ain't been into before. Just somebody took care of it. It was time for it to quit, and that's what it did. It quit. You can take your finger out here and make sure it's pumping, which ain't no fluid right there in it for it to pump, but it's pumping. Alright, you leave that last bolt out inside. Little dowel pin. Right here you got some wing grooves. You can't feel them. See, if you can't feel them, that's good. You take some Scotch-Brite and Scotch-Brite that up, and we got a good assembly right here. All right. All right. The last piece is the main valve body assembly, guys. You get a check ball right here. And remember, you got that one over there, so don't forget about it. Got a 10 now. 3 12s. I like to keep them separate off to the side. Take your finger like this, hold it. Well, see your whole thing wants to come up with her. Put your finger right here over this check ball. Turn it over. Grab that check ball. Then you turn it over and grab this one. Stand the valve body up like that. We'll check the check the pump gears, looking good. That groove is facing down like it's supposed to. That's looking good. Bunch of trash right here on the plate. And here we go right here. This is torque converter material right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. All those little specks, that's torque converter material. Right there. Torque converter material. And the case is looking good. So this is one of the good TLs we haven't had in a long time that they didn't eat the case up. So, alright. Got that done right there. Turn the valve body over. Yep, the pump gears look good. That bushing right there looks good. This bushing does not come in the kit. If this bushing's done, you can throw the valve body away, guys. Come through here, we check all the valves. Check your lockup valve. See here, C good. Shift valve C. We're good. Let's see here. Come through and check all your valves. If you get a stuck valve, you're gonna know it. one over right here. I think we do got a stuck valve right here. This is gonna be your third and fourth valve. There she goes. Yeah, I'm gonna take this valve out right here and clean it. We can take them all out and clean them, but if they all free, don't take them out if you don't have to, because once you take them out and clean them and you put it in the vehicle, it's a high chance she might still stick. So we got a couple of things we gotta look at in this transmission, but that's how you do it. Let me wipe my hands off and call it a day, guys. I mean, this is the 05 Acura TL, the BDGA transmission teardown video. So this comes to a close. We done found the low hold clutches, a bunch slap up that was welded together. That's what added to the other clutches running up too, clogged the filter, and we got a stuck valve. So far, she looks like to be a good candidate to rebuild. I gotta look at it more closely off camera, check bearings. I gotta look at the back part of the case. Looks like some bolts was kind of stripped out where the mount goes. But other than that, that's it, guys. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button if y'all new to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. I wish y'all everybody a happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. And I'll see y'all after Christmas with the rebuild video.